Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Unlocked. I am your host, Tracy Wilson, and it is always my pleasure to be here with you guys on this glorious day here on the Gold Coast of Australia. It's actually blue sky, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. So hi to those guys who have joined in nice and early. Always good to see you here, Robin, Vicky, and I can see a lot of the other crew are also here today too. Little bit bittersweet today, I'm going to say. Bittersweet because this is like the last live that I'm going to be doing as part of the Authentic Brand Effect series. So if you've been tuning in on Fridays for the last few Fridays, you will know that I have been talking about how to come out from your shell, how to get out of that glass box that you've created, how to stop being that hidden, unknown expert and actually create yourself as an influencer and an authority in your space that obviously then leads to impact, creating a mission, and also leads to, an increase in your bottom line, which is what we all want to do. We're in business, right? So that's why it's a little bit bittersweet, but also I'm super excited. So, it's a little sad in one sense because it's kind of like today is the last of that series. And it's also really exciting because I've got some other stuff that I want to share with you guys over the next little while that Vicky and Vicky Helm and myself have been working on. And I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. So that's going to come out over the next week or so. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that very, very shortly. But let's get stuck into this. So today is, like I said, is the last of the Authentic Brand Effect series. And, when you're on lives, you shouldn't really touch your phone. If you didn't hear that, good old Siri's just dialed in and she wants to have a bit of a chat today. So anyway, I'll switch her off. So just give me 2 seconds while I do that. Otherwise, she's going to be continuing to speak to me throughout this morning, and I don't want her to. She can be quiet for a moment. So today is the last in this series. It's the last of the Authentic Brand Effect series. And today I want to talk about the platform. It's like, how do you create killer content? Because we've talked a lot about this in the past. We've talked about your messaging, talked about a number of different things in the previous sessions. But today is all about how do you actually take that content? How do you create all of the systems and all of the processes and do it on a shoestring budget that isn't going to consume all of your time and all of your energy? So today, this process that I'm going to share with you is something that we've been working on with the team at MetaDime, perfecting it over months, and we've wanted to share this with you. And I'm just the lucky one that happens to be the person that gets to share this information with you. So I thank my team for allowing me to be the spokesperson on this particular topic. So what I'm going to share with you today is like the system that enables us to create all of our content, really good content, but on a shoestring budget that doesn't consume all of our time. In fact, it takes us less than 2 hours per week per person. So if you're somebody that you want to get your word out there, you want to spread your message, you want to grow your business, you are no longer prepared to be the person that is hiding the unknown expert, then this is the way to do it. I've done this a long time. There is no faster way than the process that I'm going to share with you today. So please stick around, pay attention, and after the show, like always, I'm going to drop in a link. That link is going to take you to a page that has all 5 of the videos. The entire series will be on that page, ready for you basically to binge. It will be ready for you on Monday. But what you need to do is you're going to need to go there today and you need to register so that you can be the first to start watching all of, the entire series. And there will also be some pretty cool bonuses in there too, and a way that you can get more help with this if you so wish that you require it and you're ready to kind of get going. And I'm sure by the time you finish, you will have no other choice than to speak up, start standing firm, and start spreading your message, because there is just no other way. Okay, so welcome to this very special bonus episode of the Authentic Brand series. I am excited about today's episode because today I'm going to share with you how you can create all of your content for all of your platforms on any budget without having to do loads of technical work. And I don't know how many people that would say no to that. Like, I'm all for give me some tools and some resources and a way and a strategy that will help me do all of this really quickly. And I'm going to unlock the most important awareness that you need to make in order to make the influence and the authority method work for you and for your business. So stick around for all of this, value gold nuggets that I'm going to drop for you today. So by now, you should also understand that now is the time for you to break free. Now is the time for you to take off those shackles and for you to step forward and become a known expert. No longer will you wear the title of being an unknown expert, and no longer are you required to wear those shackles. Get them off, and we'll give you the keys to be able to do that. You need to understand and to do that, you've got to understand that creating compelling, purpose-driven message, which I've talked about previously, and how to craft that message into content that actually helps you gain momentum and traction really quickly. And I know this to be true because I've done it myself. You know that by using specific combinations that I've shared with you in previous episodes that will actually help you to deliver the right message to the right person at the right time. All of these things that I've been going through, they all formulate the entire method. There is a certain way that you do it, a certain, a certain formula and a method of doing this. And if you get it out of order, or you miss one key ingredient, you just will not have the level of impact and authority that you need to have to really move quickly. So this is about being discerning. It's about being really intentional, strategic, impactful, and it's your time to stand up, stand firm, and stand out in a way that nobody else can. All right, so what I've shared with you throughout this entire series gives you the opportunity to create your own paradigm, your own niche market, your own kind of ecosystem. And that's what you want to do so that you can own that space. This is about forming a message and a mission that is so powerful that it diminishes any fears, worries, or concerns that you have. So if you've been frightened of doing this in the past, if you're scared of stepping up and speaking your truth, if you've been scared about jumping on video like this, don't be, because I'm going to, if you use this process, believe me, I've been there too. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story in terms of like how frightened I was to do all of this. You're going to create something that is so meaningful that you will have no other choice. And you will realize that you have to get your message out there. There will be something so powerful that will propel you and enable you to just speak with the right level of conviction, the right level of passion and commitment, that people will want to start listening to you. Your products and services will start to stand out, and they will be way more important than any fear or any doubt that you may have or have had in the past. So if you want that, give me a heck yes in the comment section. Tell me that you're ready, that I'm speaking to the right people. You actually are ready to step out. You want to be seen. You are an expert, because I know that. That's why you guys are here. But you actually want to be seen. You want to be heard. You want to be making an impact, and you want to increase your bottom line. If that's you, tell me today in the comments. And I'm being quite forceful today because I mean this. This is your time. This is the last opportunity I've got to get the message through to you guys that there is no better time than to start sharing your message now. The world needs it. People are waiting for you. You must do it. Okay. In fact, you may now also be thinking, because now I've laid it on really thick, haven't I? Maybe thinking that you've actually been quite selfish in hiding and conforming to the norms, knowing that there are people out there that you can help. And like I said, I speak from experience. I speak from experience because I've been there too. I used to be scared of doing this. There was no way in heck that I would have thought that I would be on a video like this, sharing information the way that I do with you guys. In fact, I had a friend come and stay with me a few weeks ago, and she was like, oh my God, Trace, I would never have thought, like, she's known me a long time, that that shy person would ever have got up and be speaking the way that you do. But now look at you. So I want you to empower you guys to know that even if you are the most meek and mild, you feel like a mouse, you feel like you need to hide and you don't want to be seen, I'm sharing the stuff with you. It is possible. you can get out there. And I'm telling you that through doing it, you will transform. You will transform in so many ways that you won't even be able to you can't even comprehend right now what your life and what you will feel like when you start doing this. All right. So I just need you to trust me on that, because I was worried that I wouldn't look good. I wouldn't sound good. I didn't like the sound of my own voice. I was worried about pretty much everything. I was worried that, jump on videos like this, silly things like my background, what cameras would I use, all of that, those things that really are just excuses. That's all it comes down to, because you do not need, high-tech equipment. You don't need any of that. You just need a willingness and a way, and somebody to help you to step up and help you speak your truth. So, that's enough of my rant, and I hope that I have got my message through, that this absolutely is the way to go. And I do not know, I've tried lots of things, I do not know any other way, apart from the way that I'm doing it now, that has given me the most amount of momentum, impact, influence, people calling me, and also all the other people that I have been helping to do this, as well as all the other guys inside of the Metadime Digital Network. Just talk to Scott Stevens, speak to Vicky Helm. They will tell you the same thing. The stuff I'm sharing with you, it works. Okay. So I realized that I couldn't actually get rid of my fear, because the reality is you are always going to have fear. But what you can do, and what I could do, is I could step forward and I could tap into my courageousness. I could be courageous. I could, leave that pussycat behind and step into my lioness and be ready to talk about what it is that, that matters to me. And what matters to me is giving you guys a platform to be able to share your message, because I know that if I do that, each and every one of you is going to have an impactful message that you need to share, and you one by one will start changing lives. That is what my mission is to help you do that. And I get goosebumps just talking about it. So when I realized this, I actually then realized that it was time for me to start my own show. And often, most people would go, oh my God, look, I just want to step out there, put my toe in the water and start with something really, really, really simple. And of course, I've done a lot of that stuff too, but it was time that I stepped up and I created a show. And, you've got to, create content that holds people for a period of time. But it was so scary to me at that time. I just started. And then once you start, you start getting out of your own way, getting on with it, and start sharing stuff. And you start getting messages from people thanking you for what it is that you've shared with them. And little by little, the lives start getting changed. Little by little, your community starts growing. Little by little, you start creating impact, influence, and, like I've said, your bottom line starts to grow too. So this is a process that I'm going to share with you. I call this process, it's called the Omni Content Formula. And this is what I want to share with you today. So it's the way in which we create everything. So like I've talked about previously, we've talked about like understanding who your client avatar is, like really understanding who that struggling avatar is. What are they doing right now? What are they feeling? What emotions are they going through? We've then talked about, the different types of content that we need to create. We talked about the 3 different types. I may even have a prize. I'm going to help somebody. I'll do a one-on-one coaching session with someone to help you dial in your message. If you can type to me in the chat today what the 3 different types of content are. I'm not going to tell you. Hopefully you've been listening and you've been watching, but there are 3 different types of content that I've been talking about that you can share to help you spread your message. So please let me know what they are, and I will organize a one-on-one session with you to help you dial in your messaging. Okay, and we've also talked about like messaging, how to make it really powerful. We talked about building your keystone, your platform. We've talked about building your anchor platform, and there's several different ways you can do that. It doesn't matter which one you choose. I just encourage you to choose one and just go for it. But you all know what my preferred method is. My preferred and the fastest way to do this is through creating your own show, so that you can have the Oprah effect, which we've talked about in another video. And if you don't know what that is, you need to go and watch them. Okay, so let me get stuck in. I'm going to attempt to share with you my screen today. So I'm just going to do a little bit of an adjustment and see if I can make my screen bigger so I can share with you some imagery today, because this will help you to understand how this entire process works. So if you can imagine that you're going to use your anchor platform, and you are then going to create all of your content. And I'm talking a lot of content for all your different platforms. So I want you to think about today, how much time would it take you right now if I said to you, I want you to create, I don't know, give me 50 pieces of content that we can share across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, your blog, your website. Tell me, how much time do you think that would take you to create all of that if you were doing it on your own, creating it each and every week? I want 50 pieces of content. How long would it take you? I want you to, again, interactive today. I'm asking questions and I need some answers. I want you guys to post in the comment section. How long do you think that would take you? And can you do that really, really quickly? Because what I'm going to share with you is how I do it really, really quickly, and how our team does it really, really quickly through our Omni content formula. And I'm going to move this over, just adjust this a little bit, and I will share my screen and you guys can see. So what I want you to think about is the fastest way to create this stuff. And of course, there's lots of different ways you can do it, podcasts, blogging, so on and so forth. The first I'm going to share with you is the way that we create it so that you create all of your content from it. You create the Omni formula, multiplication of your content, so that you can be everywhere without spending all your time and effort being everywhere. So let's attempt this. Let's see if I can pop this onto the screen. Let's see how we go. All right, happy days. You can see it. Let me see if I can even make it a little bit bigger for you. Give me a second so I can just adjust this. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so all of this starts with, this is just a pictorial of the structure and the process that you can adopt. So if you think about step number 1, and you can see that there's a whole bunch of numbers on this screen, but essentially we create approximately 30 pieces of content from each piece of material that we create. So in this case, I want you to imagine that you're doing, a show or a Facebook Live. And from that, you are going to then take that, you're streaming it out. We've got a very unique method in the way that we do it so that we can simultaneously stream to multiple different places at once. But it does not end there. You then because if it ended there, you only have, that big bang at that one moment in time, and you hope that people go back and they watch the replay. But you need to make sure that you're creating something that anchors them and pulls them back, as it becomes that the show, in our case, becomes the anchor point. We're pulling people back to watch the shows on the regular. That then builds up our database, and this is what you want to do. So you want to be able to do all of this too. So you're then going to take that content and you're going to recreate that into multiple pieces of material. For example, you're going to turn it into a full episode that can go onto Facebook. You're going to turn it into full episodes that go onto YouTube. You can turn it into a podcast. You can turn it into, the material that goes onto your website. And you can see that there's some examples of the type of imagery that we use. And then once those are all created, they then get sent out and streamed out to 20, we create 25 snippets from that in a very unique way that then enables you to distribute that content across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., etc. And like I said, all the while drawing people back to your anchor product. And that also links, like I've talked about in previous video, links to your offer. You always want to make sure that you are creating a pathway, and there is a very dialed in method in the way in which you need to do this. So if you were able to do that, so from every piece of content you created, so at the beginning, content piece number 1 is like your show. If you were able to create 30 pieces of content for that, how long do you think you could keep recycling that, sending that out? Before long, you do this over and over and over again, and you create yourself a really robust content machine. You then are able to be everywhere at the same time without having to be everywhere all at the same time without having to spend all of your time and effort on it. So the system that we've created, enables you to do this, like I said, in less than 2 hours a week when you dial this in. Takes a little bit of setup from the get-go, and then it pretty much works on autopilot. So just keep going. And Robert Stern is saying to me, woohoo, he's just started LinkedIn stories today. Awesome. Good job. Okay, now I'm also going to show you the next slide, which hopefully, can I move? Let me see if I can do this. Let's just move down to here. All right, so then we also we take that and we turn it into a podcast. So for those of you who were thinking, hey, a podcast is the way to go, yes, it is, but it is not your entry point. All right, if you started at this point with a podcast, you cannot turn that into video content, but you can the other way around. All right, so that's the big you need to understand that this is the important piece that we need to get. We need to get this so that you're able to create as much as you possibly can. It's called leverage with the least amount of time and effort possible. Okay, so out of that piece of content, your anchor platform, you're then going to create your podcast. Again, you're going to create that podcast in the audio format for your website, for YouTube. Create all of your audio, what we call audiograms, and then turn them into 25 different pieces of content that will then spread across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, so on and so forth. So from all of that, you are going to end up, if you do it the Omni Content Formula way, you will end up with approximately 58 pieces of content from every piece of material, like today, that you create. So you can come out with 58 pieces of content. So even if you did one episode and you then sat back and you let this all happen, that's gonna keep you going for quite some time. And if you do it every single week, you are going to have enough content constantly circulating that there will be no way people can ignore you. Why? Because you've got your message dialed in, you know exactly who you're going to be talking to. You've got it going out at the right time in the right places to the right people, and you're doing it on the regular. No more of you stopping and starting. Hey, I want to do this today, and oh gosh, now I've got busy and now I can't do it. I know that happens because it's happened to me until I realize that this was the way to go. So this will help you to create the 58 pieces of content that will enable you to be everywhere constantly without you having to do it all. And Robert Stern is also saying, and don't forget, you can turn your live into a blog also with that video. Absolutely. That becomes all of your written content. You totally can, which would go on your website here. So I want to know today, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to ask any questions about this. When you must register for the entire 5 series, because I'm also going to show you how to get your hands on all of the systems, all of the processes, like the whole kit and caboodle, like even a website designed for you so that you're able to put all of this material somewhere and create you as that authority brand. So we're actually creating your own personal brand. So all of these things we're going to share with you after you've watched the entire series of the Authentic Brand Effect. So you must go and register, and I would recommend that you do the registration today. And for that lucky person who is going to remember, if you can't remember it today, because I know that some weeks have gone past since I covered the three types of content. Well, you might be the first to go watch the videos and just get your butt back into the Facebook group, Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life, and just be the first person to post it in there. And I'll make sure that I get in contact with you, and we do a one-on-one session so that I can help you with all of this if it's still, you're still a little bit confused about it. So let's take it here. Now, The entire 5-part series is going to be available for you to watch. So part 1 right the way through to this bonus session, and there will be some other goodies in there for you that Vicky and I have created, and it will be available for you to watch from Monday the 28th of September. What you need to do today is you've got to go over to tracymwilson.com/the-authentic-brand effect. Go there, register, and you will start to see that there will be some, the videos plus all of the downloadable documents available for you to start watching as of this Monday. And there will also be some pretty special stuff that we're going to share with you over the coming week. So by about Wednesday of next week, you'll also hear what's next, what's the next thing in this process. So if you're still sitting back going, wow, that was really awesome, but I still don't know what to do, don't fear, we've got you covered. It's all coming. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. It has been a mammoth, series, putting all of this together and sharing this information with you. I'm really, I'm really pleased that I did, because, like I said, it's been something that I've played with over the last, 5, 6, 7 years, trying to get information out there, and there has never been one way of being able to create all of this so easily and so smoothly and to get my message out there. So now I just feel compelled to have to share that with you guys, because I want you guys to be able to do it too. So if you want to do it, go and register so that you can you can make sure that you understand, and you can watch the videos. You can watch them over and over and over again if you want to. And if you decide you want to take the next step with Vicky and I, well, we would be delighted to be able to help you guys create all of your content and really see you guys fly in 2020 and 2021, because this world needs you guys. They need you to start stepping up, and we need to be the movement that makes ripples in the world in a really good way. So I'm going to leave today on that note. I'm going to, Friday for me, so I'm going to dial out, go and get some more stuff done. I've got a big job to do. I've got to get that page ready for you guys to, and all the videos and all the really cool downloads that I'm going to have available for you guys to download on that, on our Authentic Brand Effect pages. And Vicky and I will hopefully see you guys inside of there sometime real soon, and we would love to be able to help you guys create this too. Have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Don't forget, Wednesday of next week, I'm going to be back, and I'm going to be back with the amazing Lindsay Mustaine. Lindsay, we had her on the show on Wednesday, extremely knowledgeable, got some great things to share, and we're going to be talking about, I suppose in some ways it's a little bit of a controversial topic. Some people don't always like talking about it. We're going to be talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, what it actually means, what it means for us in business, and how we can make a positive impact there. So please join us next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. I will be on, and I will have, like I said, the beautiful and very talented Lindsay Mustaine with me. Have a fantastic weekend. Go out there, live your life unlocked, because now there is just no other way. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.